Alright, here's the amp with just an attenuator on it, Flying V. The amp's cranked up all the way. It is pretty quiet. Volume's up on the guitar. Still quiet. Play a little bit. Okay, well, what I've done now is I've hooked up a really ancient MXR 6-band graphic equalizer. This is the block front, I guess you'd call it, with the script back, which means it was made between 1977 and 79, I do believe. This actually was what I used in the old days to overdrive amps, just give it more crunch. It doesn't have an on-off switch. It does not have an on and off switch, so it's best used with a noise gate. I happen to have one of those, a vintage one also. That's another story too. But what I did at this point was back the amp off to about 5, and then I can demonstrate these bands, how much of a difference they can make. Seems like these older EQs, when you push the sliders, they would really make a huge noticeable difference. So let me put this on the tripod. As I said, is about 5. And the attenuator is still minus 25 dB. That's the next notch up from all the way down. The way the EQ is set right here is it's pretty much flat. I'll play a little bit. Now, this is hard to do with a guitar, one-handed and whatnot, but there's the first band, the 3.2K all the way up. Whether or not you can tell on this camera microphone. Gives us some sparkle on the high end there. Now let's try the next band. That's the neck pickup there. So what I liked about this equalizer was that it was kind of like when you would crank an amp up loud, only it was done obviously through the EQ, but that was a similar, to my ears, a similar sound. That when you started cranking these bands up, that it would kind of simulate just cranking your amp up instead of adding a distortion box type of sound. But it gets pretty distorted, as you can see here. That's 1.6K. There's the 800 band. Here's the bridge pickup. Here's the neck pickup. Alright. Now the EQ does add some hiss. That's why, as I said earlier, noise gate would be a good thing to have, because there's no on and off switch for this. But you know, hey, you can't have everything in 1977. Here's the next band. It's a 400 range. By the way, the plastic on these went bye-bye a long time ago, so that's basically white out to see the bands there. So let's see. So that's kind of cool sounding. Definitely a rock sound. And the thing is, if you run an amp like this, when you back your pickups off, the volume knobs, so you know, keep in mind this amp, you know, needs tubes, filter caps. So it's not quite up to speed. It's got the original Jensen speakers in its cabinet. But there's the pickup up halfway, but then you crank it up. So it's pretty controllable just with your volume knob. Back to the equalizer. So that's basically the amp up to 5, and all the bands are cranked up, so you can see how much of a difference. That's all the way down. Looks like I lost some white out. Probably good to have a bottle of white out with you at all times. That way if you need to type something too, then you're all set. So there we have it for the 1977-ish, 9-ish MXR 6-band graphic equalizer.